one of the most awaited moments for every Hindu in the coming 2 months is surely going to be the inauguration of the magnificent Ayodhya Ram Mandir that is all set to be completed in January 2024. A grand inaugural has been planned for the same, which will be attended by Prime Minister Modi himself. The temple that has seen a long history of centuries with many obstacles is now set for its grand inaugural, marking an important event in the history of not just our country but the world. Well, we are going to be discussing how this grand inaugural is going to be a landmark event in turning Ayodhya, the Janmabhoomi of Lord Ram, into a World Heritage Site, considering its long history and rich authenticity of culture and Hindu religion. Bala V. Rao Sankuratri, convener Global Encyclopedia of Ramayana, Sri Lanka chapter, is joining us live at this point. Welcome to the show. Let me begin with you, Bala Rao, on what you make of this grand inauguration that is expected in January. How big a moment is this going to be, sir?
It is massive. It is perhaps something what our generation have never seen. And if I'm not wrong, it will be 22nd of January will be the grand inauguration. We call it as Prana Pratishta. So, and then there are a few more days for the public to visit. And probably from 25th of January or 26th of January, general public should be in a position to go for their darshans, etc. And coming to what is getting open now, there is two levels of temples. So the first level of temple is getting open now, and the second level of temple may take another couple of months to get opened. And the way the temple is coming up itself is grandeur. It is not built in the modern style. It is built in the ancient style. So extremely minimal cement and extremely minimal steel is being used. So they have dug the entire foundation plit, and they have put in the complete granite as a stone bed below the temple. It is like a mountain which is being built below the temple. And from that, the grooves are being made and the pillars are being rose. And every pillar is interlocked. So wherever the need of steel is there, they used an alternative alloys instead of using steel. So most of it is interlocking of the stones itself. It is built with the aim that it should stand without any disturbance for at least the next another 500 to 600 years. It should stand like that. So it may go beyond that, but when they're planning it, at least they have planned it that the temple has to stand for the next 500-600 years. It was so massive, and the temple, whatever you see is going to be primarily with the pink sandstone, majorly coming up from Rajasthan. And the foundation stones have come from the state of Andhra Pradesh, and the temple bell has come from Tamil Nadu. Architecture, the sculptures are from Odisha, from Andhra Pradesh, from Rajasthan, from across the world. It is the whole country has participated to build this. Though it is in Ayodhya, it is the heartbeat of every person, every Sanatani from across the world. Be it Hindus, be it Buddhists, whoever it could be, for every Sanatani, it is the heartbeat.
Absolutely. Dharmayasa, priest, also joins us live from Malta. Dharmayasa, how big a moment will this be for the Hindu faith with the grand inauguration of the Ram temple all set now in 2 months' time, in under 60 days' time from now?
This is a great news for the world. And it's in my opinion, it's a starting of divine environment for the world. So that's I understand. I remember how I enjoy Ayodhya in 1980s. So beautiful and divine. I cannot explain how I feel when I was there. It's a divine environment. Now you will bring this to the world. You will share this to the world. This divinity we will share to the world. That's I understand. Especially I'm coming from Bali. It's our blood is Ramayana. Our breath is Ramayana. Our everything is Ramayana. So glad to understand this. We will start a new look of the world with the peaceful environment. That's it. Thank you.
Sarah Helgates, a Hinduism scholar, is also joining us live from Melbourne. Sarah, for the world as well, this is a big moment. This is going to be not just an Indian heritage site, but a heritage site hopefully for the world, don't you believe, in Ayodhya?
Yes, it's also a symbol of a restoration of these Hindu values and this Hindu dharma, which has been suffocated, I think, by 1,000 years of imperialism and control. So it's a symbol of Hindus rising up and reclaiming their ancient civilizational values. And I think that's something that should be respected by the global community. And I think it's time that they started to understand that Hindus have every right to reclaim their Indigenous culture, and this is symbolic of that culture. And if they could just simply try to understand the culture before judging the culture, then I think that this will pass with far less, I think, contention, because there's been a lot of contention and a lot of academic research done on Ayodhya and how it's an alleged symbol of things that it really isn't a symbol of. It's a symbol of reclamation and of victory. So I think that it's something to celebrate worldwide, and it's something that we should all be looking at achieving worldwide, which is the restoration of Indigenous culture, Indigenous values, and releasing that suffocated culture from the imperialists. So that's what Ayodhya means to me. And I do hope that people are inspired by that worldwide. Jai Shri Ram.
Suresh Joshi, a priest, is also joining us now live from London. Suresh Joshi, how big a moment is this going to be? How keenly are you awaiting the grand inauguration of the Ram Temple, which has been, delayed for so many years?
Well, put it this way, it is not us, especially the indigenous and the mainstream, being very inquisitive about for the last 9 years, especially when the new government has come in. It is sort of a curiosity in general. They say, what is this Ram Mandar, when I get around and talk to various people? So they are looking forward to it. It's something very new for them. You see, all this time, we've been sort of taught and see that this, India has been the plundering field of our temple, being desecrated with the invaders, chopped around and rebuilt, like the Babri Masjid came in. And then after that, Taj Mahal, from what we now gather, has been a Shiv temple, has been turned into a mausoleum. But the new era which has come up, I would call it the renaissance of the Sanatana Vedic culture in general. It's going to be a tourist paradise, which everybody's looking forward to it. And I think it's an excitement altogether. And all I can say, let India be ready, here we are coming. And there is a massive, massive interest, a colossal interest as a tourist paradise in general, and people are looking forward to it. And I think every Hindu or the Sanatani, whoever lives in the subcontinent, no matter what religion one is, either Muslims, Sikhs, Hindus, I think it's a matter of pride for everybody, and that's how we look at it. And as I said, I've been speaking to various tourist companies at the World Fair, which World Fair market, the Mecca for tourism in general, have been talking that how to do plans to Ayodhya, cruise on the Ganges, and have outdoors pursuit right up to Kashi. So I think it's absolutely excitement, more excitement than India landing on the moon. I'm not degrading it in any way. It's another pride of it. So one after the other, I think the Prime Minister not only has become a test file for Tejas like this morning, I think he is going to be branded, crowned as the person who's bringing back the Indian culture in form of the architecture in general. I think it's an excitement all around. We cannot wait for it.
Right. Also, as far as this big moment is concerned, what do you hope for this to bring, for Ayodhya? Do you believe it will be, it will become a World Heritage Site now? It will become a pilgrimage place. It will become a place which will become, a must visit for the Hindu diaspora world over, Bala, Sankuratri, and also those interested and intrigued by Hindu culture.
Absolutely, no doubt at all. And I think...
So Suresh Joshi, that question was for Bala Sankuratri. I'll get him to answer that. I'll come back to you.
Thank you.
Hi. See, Ayodhya is already making records. So this year we made the Guinness Book of World Record. So with the highest number of lamps lit on the eve of Diwali, on the occasion marking the return of Ram after 14 years of exile. And this Guinness Book of World Record is not just this year. So Ayodhya has broke its own record from the last year and previous year and the previous years. Since past 4-5 years, Ayodhya is making the Guinness Book of World Record and it's breaking its own record every year. And this year it was targeted for 21 lakh oil lamps, and they finished it 22,23,000 in time. So Ayodhya is already making the records. People are so excited, and it is just not the world. Anybody who comes to India, they want and they will be wanting to visit this monument, not just because they were on a religious factors, but for the history it made. Especially in North India, when Ramcharitmanas is there, I need to say this. So, how the Ramcharitmanas is born, we all know that Goswami Tulsidas has written it. But when he wrote it, he might be around the age of 10 or 12 when the original Ram temple was demolished and another construction was coming up on top of it. He was at that age of 10 or 12 years old. He saw the old temple falling down and a new construction of invaders coming in. He saw that. From that pain, he started writing Ramcharitmanas. And it is the dream of the entire world who knows Ram to see the temple back in that place. And it is not 1-2 decades journey. It is almost a 700 years journey. And the whole world wants to see it, and it will keep making multiple records. This year, Russia has participated, Sri Lanka has participated, Nepal has participated, and Singapore has participated on the eve of Diwali, marking the return of Ram after 14 years of exile. Last year, a few other countries have participated. Definitely, this is going to be a tradition which our generation is going to set up for the future world.
Okay. Yes, Suresh Joshi, you wanted to answer that as well. Please go ahead, sir.
What I was going to say, you see, all this time we relate to Diwali, Festival of Light, and especially in Europe, it's becoming a national holiday. And what we always say, Rama returning to Ayodhya. In the past, there was no Ayodhya to look at least not the scale one was expecting. And once it becomes a UNESCO heritage site, I think it is a boon to the world in general. And like your other guest said about that, it's the pilgrimage. I think it's more than that. And I think as we always claim, that the world is becoming a very small village and it's part of it. And the missing jigsaw in the Rama saga is that the Ayodhya, and very rightly somebody mentioned that how the diyas, the lights were lit, becoming an item in the Guinness Book of Record and so on. I think this is only a start. And we say that that will be one of our contribution to the world in general. And India is no more a land of snake charmers and Taj Mahal only. I think it is going to replace it. And why not? And on the whole, I would say India is going to be a site for the tourist in general, not having Vedic breaks. And yoga has also contributed quite a lot ever since from 2015. Well, I would say it's the age of India, age of Sanatanism, whatever we want to call it. And that goes for every citizen of India in general.
All right. Well, let me leave the last word then on the broadcast to Dharmayasa. Dharmayasa ji, your closing comment.
Ayodhya. I just last month I visited 2 Ayodhyas. One Ayodhya is Ayodhya of Thailand, outside Bangkok city, and another Ayodhya is in my country, Yogyakarta, Yogya. It came from Ayodhya, Ayodhya, then Jogja. Now became Yogya or Yogyakarta. They just came from that 2 Ayodhyas. And for our Ayodhya, that's in Ayodhya in the UP, I'm sure in the future, this Ayodhya will become the center of the world, but not as the center of religion, but the center of a center for human beings, for the culture, to meet together, for the center of the world. I'm sure this Ayodhya in the future will become the center of the world. Like you said just now, I like that. The center of the heritage of the world. It's a good sentence, I think. Thank you.
All right. My thanks to all of our guests for joining us.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.